Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make strawberry banana jam. It is so good. I heard about recently and I had to try it. I've never heard of making jam with banana and this recipe is a keeper. It is one of our favorites now. My husband actually does not want to give away. I love that with this pectin you can use as much or as little of sweetener that you want and the sweetener of your choice as well. So for this recipe I use honey and it turned out so good. The amount that you see here, it is actually 3 times of the recipe. I did 1 batch the first time and the second time I doubled the recipe. When you double the recipe, make sure you double the pectin amount and the calcium water amount and double your fruits as well. Starting, I'm washing my strawberry first. Then just remove the green part of the strawberry. This recipe, I will need 2 3/4 cups of smashed strawberries. When I remove the hulls from the strawberry, I like to cut it as close as possible to the base, so that way I'm not wasting a bunch of strawberry. I'm just using a potato masher, but you can use fork or whatever things that you may have. I'm smashing directly in this container, so that way I can just measure it right from in the glass measuring cup. The recipe says you can use frozen strawberries, so obviously you would have to thaw it out first. I just realized that this measuring cup doesn't have the 3/4 part. Alright, let's see. We're almost there. This is 2 3/4. In the same dish, I'm going to mash bananas, and I need 1 1/4 cups of mashed bananas. Alright. Just a little bit more. So maybe like a half of this. I'm just going to use a fork. You want your banana to be soft enough that you're able to mash them. So don't use the ones that are still green because those are harder to mash. Alright, we have 1 1/4 cup. To make this recipe, I'm using POMONA'S Pectin, 2 3/4 cups of mashed strawberries, 1 1/4 cups of mashed bananas, calcium water, which calcium powder comes with the pectin, half a cup of honey, and 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I like to have my jars boil in hot water. This is how I sanitize them. So that way they are being sanitized while I'm prepping other stuff. I also have the lids and rings ready to go. I'm going to pour hot water over them later to sanitize them. I like to prep everything ahead of time so that way when the time comes I'm not rushing. Combine strawberry, banana, lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of calcium water. Even though this batch of jam is small, still use a large pot so that way it has a lot of room for boiling. Before turning on the strawberry and banana mixture, mix the honey and the powdered pectin together first, and 1 tablespoon of powdered pectin. Make sure to mix this thoroughly before adding into the fruit mixture. This prevents mixture from clumping up and ensure it dissolves properly in the low sugar fruit mixture. Alright. Looks good to me. Mix everything well. Bring this to a rolling boil over high heat. So this is not a rolling boil because when I stir, the boil goes away. You want a boil that you can't stop even though you're constantly stirring it. The fruit smells so good, especially the strawberry. You can really smell the strawberry. This is rolling boil. Now add the honey pectin mixture. Mix this well. Make sure they are all blended in. Bring it to a boil for about 1 to 2 minutes. And then remove it from heat and pour into jars and then do a water bath. This pot is deep and yet the juice is splattering out still. So you want something tall. Now I'm going to remove this from heat and then get the jars out. Now I'm dumping the hot water in with the lids and rings to sanitize them. And just leave the jar out on the towel. I like using a towel to separate the hot jars from the counter. The recipe says this makes about 5 cups, which means 5 jars, so I'm curious if I'll get 5 jars. I actually want to do a taste test first. I'm so excited. I've never heard of canning banana in anything. So this is like stretching out strawberries if you don't have a lot of strawberries. This is very good. Just perfect. Enough sweetness, and you can really taste the fruit. I will have to make more. I will have to make more. This is so good. With a clean rag, dip it into the hot water. Careful though. Careful that you don't burn your hand. And then wipe the rim clean, just to make sure that any droplets of jam, any jam may have gotten onto the rim. You don't want it to prevent from sealing. So make sure it's nice and clean. So you want to tighten the bands only to fingertips and then just a little bit more. So now they're ready to go back into the boiling water pot. Put the lid on the pot and bring the candle back to a rolling boil and then boil for 10 minutes. And then add 1 minute additional processing time for every 1,000 feet above sea level. This is rolling boil, and now I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. The time is up. I'm turning off the heat and let this calm down for about 5-10 minutes before taking the jar. All right. Now I'm taking these jars out and let it sit on the counter. I like to use a cooling rack and a towel over it to catch any water may drip. Let the jars cool down undisturbed for at least 24 hours. Now if the bands looks like it loosen up, don't touch it. It's a normal part of cooling down. You can remove the rings later once it has been sitting here for at least 24 hours. But until then, just let it be. The recipe is on Pomona's website. So I hope you give this recipe a try and let me know what you think of it. What sweetener did you end up using? I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and until the next time. Thank you for watching.